This story was sent to us from Jessica. About 4 years ago, I started a new job at a small company as the HR manager. On my second day, I was instructed by my superiors to terminate an employee. I had never met the employee before, so I wasn't really sure what to expect or what type of reaction I would receive. This was a smaller company, so there was no security if things went left. I called the employee into the office, and he arrived within a few hours. I introduced myself to him and explained to him the reason for the meeting. He couldn't understand why he was being fired and wanted a more in-depth explanation. I tried my best to explain things to him with the little bit of information I had. As I spoke, he became increasingly upset and began yelling. I tried to calm him down, but that only made him more mad. He started calling me names and cursing at me. I looked through my office door, which was made out of glass, and I saw my coworkers looking. They were looking, but nobody was doing anything to help me at all. He got up and walked out of the office. He slammed the door so hard that it shattered. When I reported what happened to upper management, I was surprised that they didn't contact the police. I was told that everyone was just happy to see him leave and the shattered door was the least of their worries. They just called someone in to fix it, and within a few days everything in the office was back to normal. About a week after the incident, I started getting blocked calls to the office phone, but no one would ever say anything. One evening on a Friday, my coworkers decided to leave early. I was still new, so I didn't want to leave early and make a bad impression. I decided to stay and work a little later. When I left, I would have to turn off the appliances and lock the door. About 20 minutes after my coworkers left, I heard the phone ring and no said anything. About a minute later, the main door opened. I left my office to greet the visitor, and to my surprise, standing there was the employee I fired the week before. He looked very angry, and he had something that looked like a sword in his hand. He started yelling at me and calling me awful names. He even banged his head on the wall, which caused his forehead to split open. There was blood everywhere, and he didn't even appear to be in pain. I kept backing up to get away from him, and before I knew it, I had backed back into my office. I locked the door quickly and reached for the phone on my desk. I dialed 911 and I told the officer to send someone quickly. He was standing outside of my office laughing. Suddenly the glass door shattered. He had punched the door so hard. I stood behind my desk and shook in fear as he inched closer with the sword. I picked up my chair and threw it at him, but that only made him angrier. He grabbed me and put the sword to my neck. I thought I was going to die. When the officers showed up, they yelled at him to drop his weapon. He used me as a shield. The more the police yelled at him, the more he laughed, and the more scared I became. After about 30 minutes, I heard a shot and the man let me go and fell to the ground. The police had shot him from behind to save my life. In addition to the sword, the officers found a suicide note in his pocket, so apparently, he was going to hurt me and then himself. I couldn't believe what was happening to me. That same day of the incident, I quit that job and never returned. I didn't want to work for a company that doesn't protect its employees. I also didn't trust my coworkers again. Stay spooked.